Hello everyone, this is Reggie Dawson for the Building Apps with Intel XDK and Parse course for Tuts Plus. In this video, we are going to install the XDK. We are going to go to software.intel.com/en-us/Intel-XDK. This is the portal for the Intel XDK software. Here we can find tutorials and documentation about the Intel XDK. At the top of the page, there is a download link for the Intel XDK. Download and install the XDK, and after installing, launch the XDK. Once you launch the XDK, you will be in the Projects tab. From here, we can create new projects or open existing projects. We can also look at the configuration of projects here. First, we have our project info, which tells you the type of project it is, how it was started, where the project is stored, as well as what UI framework it uses. Next, we have the Cordova Hybrid mobile app settings. Here we can choose what platforms we want to build apps for. The selections are Crosswalk, which is an alternate Android platform that allows you to use advanced features normally not available to a Cordova-based app, such as the ability to set up a video chat app. Also, we have Android, iOS, and Windows Phone devices. Clicking one of these will remove it as a build target when we compile our app. Under the Plugins tab, we can view and enable any standard Cordova plugins, as well as featured and custom plugins. We can obtain documentation on the plugin if we click the eye to the right of the plugin listing. In the Featured and Custom Plugins menu, beware of plugins with an exclamation point, as the plugin may have been depreciated. We can also import third-party plugins from our local machine or the web. The important thing to remember is that the emulator and app preview will not work with these plugins, so your options for testing will be limited. Under Build Settings, we have App ID, our app name, a description, an author, and an app version. The access list is important if you are connecting to external data sources, such as what we are doing in our app. The asterisk indicates that all external domains can be accessed from this app. Without it, we would have problems with our app accessing Parse. The next line specifies the Cordova version. We can also launch our app full screen and specify the orientation of the app when it launches, either in landscape or portrait. Android, iOS, and Windows 8 all differ a little bit as to what their build settings are after that. If you're unsure, you can consult the XDK documentation for specific instructions for your platform. We can also configure our icons that will launch our app, as well as any splash screens that will display when our app starts. We can choose an image that matches the sizes and formats specified by the respective platforms: Android, iOS, or Windows 8 phone. Android and iOS have the added option to display the splash screen in portrait or landscape mode. Lastly, we can also choose to package our app for web, Chrome, Firefox, or Facebook. If the app is set up for Cordova and not a standard web app, it will prompt us to add feature detection code since our Cordova plugins will not work in a web app. When we start a new project, we are given a few different options. First, under templates, we can choose a blank template. The choices we have are standard HTML5 and HTML5 in Cordova. HTML5 will run on desktops, smartphones, and tablets. Cordova will just run on smartphones and tablets. If you don't need desktop support, which option should you choose? That depends on what type of app you are building. Cordova bridges the gap from code to hardware and allows you to access the hardware of the mobile device. So if you are building an app that needs to access hardware, such as the accelerometer or camera, then use Cordova. If not, use a standard HTML project. This also has the advantage of allowing your app to be compiled for the web, Chrome, Firefox, or Facebook. Also, we see a checkbox for App Designer, which is a WYSIWYG tool to design your apps. If you want to use App Designer, check this box. And lastly, we have the option to view the source of the project on GitHub. Under Layout and User Interface templates, we have different UI templates we can choose, such as a flip view or a grid view. Each option comes with a description and an example of the kind of app you can build with it. These are standard HTML5 projects, and we can also use App Designer. We also have templates for various game engines. Every template except the Cocos 2D Lite template can be a standard HTML or Cordova project. We can also change the orientation of the game when it starts. In the samples and demos, we have standard HTML projects as well as Cordova projects we can use to start a project. These are useful to help understand how to develop apps with the XDK and get an idea of how to code your own apps. There are also sample games that you can use to get an idea on how to code a game. And finally, we can import a standard HTML project in. This is useful if you have created an existing project in Cordova or PhoneGap. It is also useful for a game built in a game engine such as Construct 2. We're going to create an app from a blank standard HTML5 template, so we will be able to compile our app as a web app as well as a mobile app if we choose. We are also going to check the App Designer box. After that, we click Continue. Choose the directory you're going to save it in, and then name the app Magazine App. It looks like I misspelled magazine. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. After we create a project, it will display a prompt for us to view the quick tour. You can view it if you like, or you can click No Thanks. When you are tired of seeing it, you can click on Don't Show This Again, which I will do now. Then it gives us the option to choose our UI framework. XDK includes App Framework, Ratchet, Ionic, Framework 7, Twitter Bootstrap, jQuery Mobile, and Topcode. We are going to choose jQuery Mobile. We now have our app set up and we are ready to design our app. In the next video, we will get familiar with the interface of the XDK Develop tab.